I made the not-so-difficult decision to no longer invite my extended family to dinner, parties, school events for my kids, and so on. It wasn't a decision that came lightly, but it was one that I felt was necessary for the well-being of my immediate family and, most importantly, for my nephew Jamie. The one exception is my nephew Jamie. He is the only one from my extended family who I still keep close contact with. He is my elder sister's eldest. Jamie has always been a special part of my life, and I couldn't bear to see him suffer any longer. He moved in with my husband and myself for a while before he turned 18 to get away from his parents and younger brother. Some context is needed to understand why this was necessary. When Jamie was born, his parents genuinely seemed to love him. They were overjoyed with their first child, and it appeared that they were going to be great parents. And they appeared, to a younger me, to be good parents. They played with him, took him to the park, and seemed to enjoy every moment with their new baby. That changed as soon as his younger brother was born. The dynamic in the family shifted dramatically. Suddenly, my sister and brother-in-law talked about Jamie as a nightmare, said he was an awful baby. They hated every moment with him, and his younger brother was an angel and perfect. This attitude continued and only grew worse over time. Jamie wasn't a misbehaving kid or feral like he was described, but he ran around, got dirty, made noise and messes like most little kids. He was just being a normal child, full of energy and curiosity. But this was treated like something awful. Every little thing he did was blown out of proportion and used as an excuse to criticize him. His younger brother was quiet, neat, and so on. He fit the mold of what they considered a good child. They would always compare Jamie to his brother to shame him into being different. It was a constant barrage of, "Why can't you be more like your brother?" If he spilled something, they'd scold him. It was as if he could do nothing right in their eyes. If he got messy, they'd reprimand him harshly for it. There was no understanding or patience for the fact that he was just a child. The rest of my extended family started acting the same. They followed my sister and brother-in-law's lead and treated Jamie like an outcast. Jamie couldn't do anything right. No matter what he did, it was never good enough. He sneezed. It was too loud. Every little thing was used as a reason to criticize him. He fell. He was being reckless or careless. There was no room for mistakes or accidents in their eyes. And the praise for his brother was insane. It was as if they were trying to make Jamie feel even worse by constantly highlighting how perfect his brother was. Like, yeah, he was a quieter and calmer kid, but Jamie wasn't destroying things or stealing, yelling, cursing, and so on. He was just being a normal, active child. Even having too much fun got Jamie negative attention, and I was told to shut up whenever I'd defend him or tell people to lay off. It was heartbreaking to see him treated this way. I took it upon myself to be there for Jamie as much as I could. I wanted him to know that he had someone in his corner. The older the boys got, the harder it got because Jamie also had his brother trying to get him into trouble or berating him for things. It was a constant battle for him. I hated seeing it, but I knew I needed to be there for Jamie, and avoiding it would do no good. I had to be a positive influence in his life. Nobody showed up for Jamie except for me. It was as if he didn't exist to the rest of the family. I was often the only family member, except for when I married and had kids, who made an appearance at school plays and the likes. It was important to me that he knew someone cared. When Jamie moved in with us and got his freedom, I decided it was time to do the same. I needed to cut ties with the toxic environment that had caused so much pain. My family kept asking me about coming over and when were my kids' things. Nobody asked about Jamie. It was as if he didn't matter to them at all. Or they'd want to know about parties for the kids. It was always about their own interests and never about Jamie. I let it all pile up, and then I decided to send an email to the extended family outlining how disgusting their behaviour toward Jamie had been and how that meant they would no longer receive any invitations from me. It was a long time coming, and I felt it was the only way to make them understand. I got a lot of negativity back, with people saying I shouldn't take his side when he's a bratty little shit who deserved everything he got. It was disheartening, but not surprising. I don't regret defending Jamie. But did I handle this badly? I sometimes wonder if there was a better way to go about it. Am I the a-hole? I did what I thought was right, but it's hard not to question yourself when faced with so much opposition.